Alright, today I'm going to be going over a passage called There is a Dog Sleeping on the Floor Now. Um, I'll go ahead and read it first, like always. There is a dog sleeping on the floor now. She sleeps with loud snore. I love to hear her snore sometime. Not middle of the night because that noise will wake me up middle of the night. I love her. She is such a cutie. She is my dog. Okay. Nice little story about her dog. Couple errors, so we'll go ahead and address those right now. There is a dog sleeping on the floor now. Nothing wrong with that. Good sentence. She sleeps with loud snore. So, um, this is one of those things that really foreigners of all languages get wrong, and my theory is that because people get this wrong because most languages don't have an equivalent to this grammar. Um, every language has verbs and nouns, but a is it's not even really a word. It's just a connector. Japanese has particles, but those are different from a. I guess it's kind of the same concept. But anyways, so she sleeps with a loud snore. So the reason you need this, I honestly can't give you a straight reason. I'll try to explain it the best I can. She sleeps with loud snore. Um, so if you say she sleeps with loud snore, then you're saying she sleeps with someone named Loud Snore or something that is called Loud Snore. So she's sleeping with something called Loud Snore. But if you say she sleeps with a loud snore, that means, oh, she sleeps and she has a loud snore. So she snores loudly. So I would actually recommend changing this. Instead of sleeps with a loud snore, I would say she snores loudly. So this is changing loud as an adjective. Loud is an adjective, which means it describes a noun. Snore is a noun. So she doesn't just snore, she has a loud snore, right? Loudly is an adverb, which is something that changes a verb. So she snores. Snores is a verb, and loudly is modifying how she snores. She doesn't snore quietly. She doesn't snore softly. She snores loudly. It's describing how she snores. She snores loudly while she sleeps. So that would be the best way. That would be the best way, I would say, to state that sentence. She snores loudly while she sleeps. Next one. I love to hear her snore sometime. Not middle of the night because that noise will wake me up middle of the night. Okay, so middle. Okay, so middle of the night is a time. So when you say something is occurring during a time, you need to say it's at or in one of those, or at or in, I think. So, for example, at 12 o'clock, right? At 12 o'clock, I'm going to eat lunch. At 3 o'clock, I'm going to go to school, right? Something like that. Um, So at is used for a time. It's also used for places, but we won't go into that. And then also is for time when it's not at an exact time. When it's not like a time as in 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock is a set exact time. So you can say in when you're talking about in a certain amount of time. So in 1 hour, I will eat lunch. In 5 hours, I will go to work. Right. So it's used for in an amount of time, or you can say in the middle of the night. So I know that was a long explanation of that. I love to hear her snore sometime. Okay, not. So you need the in here, not in the middle of the night. And then also sometime needs an S. Sometimes. Sometime. Oh, okay. So all right. So we also need a comma there, and a but would go nicely here. I guess the but doesn't. If you don't have the but, it's gonna sound weird. It will kind of make sense, but it will sound very weird. So this, when you see but in a sentence, you can think of that sentence as a positive and a negative side of that sentence, right? Because there's always a positive and a negative side. I like ice cream, but not vanilla flavor, right? I like ice cream. That's a positive thing. That's what you like. That's a good thing. But not vanilla flavor. But I don't like. So that's a negative. Something that you don't like is a negative. So, but not vanilla, right? So this is, I love to hear her snore sometimes. That's a positive thing. You like to hear her snore. That's something you like. That's positive, right? But there are certain times where you just do not want to hear her snore, right? So, but I dislike when she snores in the middle of the night, right? It will wake me up. I hate it. So that's a negative thing. It's something you don't like. But not in the middle of the night. And then you added this because to explain why you don't like it, right? Which is a very nice thing. That makes you sound like you've been studying for a long time, because you can add those things to your sentence. See, anybody can say, I like this but not this, or I like this, I don't like this. But to say why, that's more advanced grammar. So good job with that. So back onto the point. Because that noise will wake me up in the middle of the night. So we need in the here again. So in the middle of the night, the is there because it's the time of the middle of the night, right? It's the time. Yeah, it's really kind of hard to explain why the goes there. But we'll go ahead and go on to the next one. I love her. Simple sentence. Easy. It's good. I like that in this end part, you broke it up into smaller sentences, because when you're first learning a language, you need to say smaller sentences, right? Like, in Japanese, you could say, watashi wa Jared desu. I am Jared, right? That's really all I know how to say is just short sentences right now. I can say, demo, but sentences, or, ga, but sentences, Anyways, that's probably really confusing. But, you know, when you're first starting, you say things like, "Watashi wa jaredo desu, America jin desu, 22 sai desu, daigakusei desu," right? Little sentences. Now you can augment them by saying, you know, something like Mesa Community College no gakusei desu. I'm a Mesa Community College student, right? So, anyways, so I like that you tried doing smaller sentences and bigger sentences in the same passage, because these ones are just showing they're easy, you know, they're all correct. She is a cutie. Whoops. They're all correct. She is my dog. You know, there just is sentences. This is that, right? She is a cutie. This is that. She is my dog. So anyways, well, good job. Only a couple errors, and they're really confusing grammar points. So I wouldn't expect you to get some of these things. There are things that everyone messes up. But good job. Good luck with your studies. Ganbarimashita. Ganbatte kudasai. Keep it up, and I'll see you in the next video.